onto one of the young lads who's come through. You've got George Cooper who's just signed a new deal. How good is it to see him put pen to paper on a pro contract?
Brilliant. With all young players now who've got some talent, which George definitely has, you want to get them signed on longer term contracts. That then gets them settled. That keeps the club settled, because then we're not worried about losing them for nothing or for a minimal amount. So it's good for all parties, I think, and to see boys that you've coached from 7, 8, 9 sign their first pro contract. There's always something special about that, and that's one of the joys of working for this football club.
And he's first in the next line of the youngsters coming through now, isn't he? So it must be good to see, the development working and these players being rewarded. Yeah,
of course. That's always one of the toughest jobs. Is that when these players leave or when these players get sold, you've got to get the next ones ready. Now they're not always ready instantly. It sometimes takes 12 months or 2 years to get the next top player through. And to see the line of, I look at our 18s down to 15s, and I think we've got some good players coming through, and some exciting times ahead for them.
So positive for the future for them and for the club, isn't it?
No doubt, there's no doubt. We've got some talented boys coming through. It's been a tough year in the first team this year. It was always going to be, I think, if we can find a way over the next 5 games to get through that and stay in this league, then I think we've got some exciting times coming up.
And there was an interesting article in the Sentinel last week sort of suggesting that any young player who's aspiring to be anyone in the game would be better off coming to somewhere like Crewe and building themselves rather than being in an elite team in their youth, because you get the chance here to prove yourself.
That's always been the case. I've said that a lot. Nearly every interview I ever do. That's our main selling point. If you've got an opportunity to play in the first team at a young age, that is an experience you can't get by playing 21s football or by playing under 18s football. Nick Powell had that, Max has had that, even the AJs, etc. have all had that. Matt Tootle's just played 200 games or whatever it is at a young age. If he'd been coming through a top Premier League club, he'd have probably played 2 or 3 games in the League Cup at the moment. Now he's played 200 games, so it means he's ready to go on and play at a high level. There's no substitute for that.